release of funds to print their examination papers. With just 4 months to go before the exams begin, NEC is yet to start printing the papers. Other exams that are yet to be administered despite the deadline for preparation include KPSEA and the KEJSEA. Now, the delay in funding for the exams threatens to impact and create a bottleneck in the education sector. Despite the allocation of 6 billion Kenya shillings last year in the budget for the exams, Treasury is yet to release the funds. The funds are essential for the preparation of the exams, including printing the papers, packing them in containers, transporting them, and facilitating the security of the exams. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has stressed that he'll continue to meet with musicians in different parts of the country with the aim of ensuring that they benefit from their talents. Speaking in Kabete, Kiambu County, he accused his predecessor, Rigathi Gachagua, of castigating musicians who met with him last week.
Hata wachezaji wetu, waigizaji, wanamuziki wapate haki yao kwa sababu ya talanta ile Mungu amewapatia. Tuendelee kupigana na mabrokers na cartels, wale ambao wanaumiza vijana wetu. Nimeona watu wengine wameanza kuwatukana ati walikuja kuona Deputy President wa Kenya. Hiko makosa gani wanamuziki kukuja kulilia serikali ndio haki yao isipotee, na wasiibiwe intellectual property yao? Iko makosa kweli? Kwani iko Deputy President mwingine? Mimi nitaendelea kutetea hao watu, wapende wasipende, mimi natetea hao watu.
Kindiki said that a number of musicians, despite being talented, live a sorry life, urging politicians to ensure that they pay them when they compose songs for them.
Mimi nimekutana na wanamuziki kutoka eneo hili na nitakutana na wengine kutoka sehemu zingine za Kenya. Ni kwa sababu kwa muda mrefu hao wanamuziki, kuna watu wamewadhulumu, wanatumia nyimbo zao, zingine ziko kwa skiza tune, zingine zinachezwa kwa magari na kwa bar, lakini ule mwimbaji ambaye ametoa hiyo kibao ni maskini ya mwisho, ana mbele wala nyuma.
Kenyan politics has continued to attract intense attention since Rigathi Gachagua was sacked from William Ruto's government. Last week, Gachagua launched his DCP party with the slogan Skiza Wananchi in a bid to criticize and portray Ruto's administration as indifferent and contemptuous of the concerns of the citizens. Yesterday, Gachagua slammed the government for allegedly using the tactic of bribing musicians to praise government projects, thus urging the musicians who met with Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki 3 days ago to apologize to the Mount Kenya community for allegedly betraying it politically. Now, speaking in Murang'a County, Gachagua has raised allegations that the artists were bribed with 50,000 shillings each to praise projects that Kenyans have been criticizing, including SHA.
Wasipoomba msamaha, tuwache kusikiza nyimbo zao. Number 2, zile entertainment joint wanaenda, wasiitwe huko tena. Na wewe kama ni mwenye klabu, ukiita huyo mtu, customers wahame waende mahali ingine. Tena ile mtandao, you unfollow them. Si ndio? You unfollow them. Because wameenda kuchukua shilingi 50,000. Na pahali wanaenda entertainment, wale watu wameenda pale kwa sababu akili imechemuka, kwa sababu ile Kasongo ametusumbua. Wanaenda kuwatubuiza ndio akili zitulie. Hao wameenda kukaa na wale watu ambaye wametuumiza, wametuletea hizo shida.
That's the news wire. I'm Lea Ubaga.
.5 Spice FM, Kisumu.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
Good morning, and I love your show.
Thank you.
Having come from a Kikuyu radio background, I migrated to Spice because of the content.
I was born in a slum, but somehow I got a break in life. So sometimes when you see the sweating coming out because of the passion and whatever it is, behind the noise, there are people, and we share the same umbilical cord.
It shouldn't be like that. I am so disappointed. We used to tell Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that he's doing politics of conmanship, and even President Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali hii ndio iko na conmanship ya hali ya juu. You cannot promise people that you reduce tax, then you double.
In politics, there is the issue of trust. For you to turn around and then stab the same people who gave you that trust, there is no other level of dishonesty. Imabo, utaona dunia tu.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
Waliletea fujo Moi mpaka wakapata cooperation. Wakakuja wakasumbua Kibaki mpaka wakachukua nusu mkate. Wamekuja wakazungusha Uhuru hapo mpaka wakaenda na handshake, program yetu ikapotea, BBI ikaendelea, tukazama, tukaingia kwa madeni. Sasa mimi nimewaambia, hii serikali hii, mimi nawaambia hii serikali ni ya mahasla. Hakuna nusu mkate, hakuna handshake, hakuna hiyo borojo.
Jana nimeona wale wazee tulishinda. Ati hiyo mzee akisema ati he will not be coerced or intimidated to joining our government. Wewe mzee sikia. We have no business within our government. Hatuna haja na hatugojei wewe. We are not looking for you and we have no time. Stop saying that people can force you to come to this government. Forget about being forced or coerced. We are not interested because sisi tuko na kazi ya kufanya.
Kama kuna mtu ako na namba ya William Ruto, alikodi hii video mtumie. Maisha yangu tangu nizaliwe sijawahi kuona mtu muongo, mfisadi, baradhuli, dhabdhabina kama William Samoei Ruto.
Mimi Hassan Joho nikitaka kuongea, mimi I don't even dream of engaging with them. Ati huyu akitaka aje aongee sio na mimi niongee na Ruto nini? Mimi nikamtafute atanipa nini? Wilbaro.
I wonder.
Nilipeleka Wilbaro mimi la kimtaani la kucheza nalo zamani.
We have a choice to reject over 60% of these names or give President Ruto his skunk. Apart from a few individuals who are not even more than 8, the rest are incompetent, unqualified, have integrity issues, are people who cannot deliver this country from where it is to the next level that we want the country to move in.
A few moments later.
Now forwarded the name of John Mbadi Ngongo to the Ministry of National Treasury and Economic Planning. The Honorable Hassan Ali Joho, Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs.
Nguruwe kujiganga na mafuta yake.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
One of the things that are ailing our country is negative ethnicity. You find you as a state officer, instead of thinking as a Kenyan, you think like a tribal person.
Let me tell you something. The biggest problem we have had in this country is a leadership deficit. There is nothing that you are going to do in the process of change if you are not a risk taker. So you really have to pursue your vision to a logical conclusion and even be ready to step on people's toes.
When it comes to the economy, you can run away with it. They say statistics are like bikinis. They reveal a lot, but they conceal the vitals. And so government people would throw statistics at you and tell you they're revealing a lot of information to you, but it's really concealing the real vitals.
We need to get out of that, because when we want to grow our democracy, one basic thing that really requires to be understood by the political class, by all of us, is institutions are critical.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
In this country, 6 families and 8,000 Kenyans control 90% of the GDP. We are not a country. We are a plantation. We work for Ruto.
When you're telling the judges court orders are papers or they will not obey court orders, they're sitting and you're seeking orders from them. So how are they supposed to interpret it? Isn't it an oxymoron?
When you see a judiciary that seems to be under some control somewhere, you start questioning. We have very powerful governors, but they don't use their offices to serve the people.
If you are not shameful to do what you are doing, why should we protect you?
I'm human, everybody's human. So when you're told, kuja tuongee, I mean, you'd be a fool to say, staki kuongea today. Conversations have to be had, you know?
People in leadership should only go into leadership if they are ready and willing to change the lot of the people.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
Traffic updates brought to you by I&M Bank, on your side.
Traffic.
Good morning and welcome to Monday. Quick look at what's happening on the roads today. Traffic is going to do this week. Let's see.
Brought to you by I&M Bank, empowering you to achieve your dreams and secure your future with our financial solutions across Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, and Mauritius. I&M Bank, on your side.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Good morning. It's 13 minutes after 6 o'clock. It's the 25th of May. There are 6 days left in this month. It's Monday morning. It's freezing. Okay, not freezing. It's cold. But we are here all the same. And we wish you a very good... We wish you a very more... We wish you a good morning. Good Lord, I've got to try something.
It's okay to say a merry morning, by the way. Merry is not just for Christmas.
Yeah, merry means happiness.
Yes.
We wish you a merry morning. We wish you a merry morning. We wish you a merry morning.
And a very good gay day.
Oh, Lord. You just spoiled it.
See, gay is happy.
Huh?
See, it's happy.
Happy, yeah, gay is actually happy.
Yeah, this is a problem with Kenyans. Always thinking on the wrong direction.
Si sorry.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Apana.
Does it now?
Sini life.
Does not happen.
Sini life.
You know, wale watakwambiwa ni sini God.
Sini God maze. Yeah.
This is what you're selling trucks and trucks of narcotics.
You know, you started as a poultry farmer. Good morning, Guy.
We hear you.
You do. How are you this morning?
Good, excellent, happy.
You're happy? Happy and gay? Fantastic.
Yes.
Welcome.
Today.
Good to know.
Jan Migori.
Sama bana.
How are you?
Good.
You went to Migori and almost forgot about us.
I went to Migori. I saw several shops that sell shoes. It's a good place to be, you know.
Shops that sell shoes in Migori. You're not good. You know you're not nice.
Yeah, people in Migori say hi. Umesalimika. Yeah, they're happy.
Kila mtu ako salama?
Kila mtu ako salama, nashukuru.
Good to have you back, man.
Asante sana.
Karibu.
Nairobi is cold though, yo.
Yeah, I think the cold weather is going to set in a lot earlier. It's the Kenyan winter. Usually starts around June. So I mean, it's the beginning of June. Coming off the rains, going into it's going to get cold. So for those of you who don't like the cold, I'm sorry. This happens to be in Kenya one of my favorite seasons.
Wow. You and Lydiah, same WhatsApp group.
Yeah, Lydiah actually might be on a borderline of a condition because she seems to be able to live inside the freezer. I might wear a sweater in the freezer. Lydiah, on the other hand, I don't know.
No, let me tell you, the cold weather is the best.
It is.
Trust me.
It's easier to put stuff on than to take stuff off.
Yes, true.
Well,
I beg to differ.
You know, you were born on the sun next to a lake.
Exactly. So these cold weather manenos, I can't get it, bro.
Go to Uganda. Go to Champara.
No.
And see if you can say the jokes you say on radio.
You know, Uganda just decided that civilians can be tried in a military court, so I'm well in Kenya.
Okay.
You forget Tanzania issued a threat to all of you Kenyans.
Where?
Bakini kwenu, waribuni kwenu. Tanzania bado iko shwari.
So your body was in shock when you were coming back. And you got into Nairobi and you were like, eh?
I'm telling you, get my mind, you're like, where the hell am I headed, man?
Can I just go back?
Yeah.
Hey, this is what it is, and it's going to be like this, and probably getting colder. It's said, according to folks who are looking at the skies and stuff, that 2025 might actually be one of the coldest years yet. So, brace up for that. Buy a sweater or 3. You might need it.
Yet in a decade, yet in a century.
Well, yet. Because for a very long time it's hot. It's been hot. The hottest year yet. Yeah, so
it might be the coldest year yet. Let's wait and see. So if you've not bought that hoodie, now might be the time to go ahead and do that. So everybody, welcome to the Situation Room. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. Ndu, Mark Bichachi, Dennis Aseto with you this morning, and getting into conversations that matter. It's going to be one where we do have quite some conversations, and we're going to do that at 7 o'clock. XN Iraqi is an economist. We're going to be looking at budget 2025. We're going to be looking at the shortfalls. We're going to be looking at the near misses. We're going to be looking at then what it has in store for Kenya and what should be the direction that a country whereby the economy has an issue here or there should actually be going in. So he joins us at 7, a brilliant mind, I must say. And we'll look into the details of that. At 8 a.m., we will have a conversation around the politics of the day and what it actually portends for Kenya moving forward. There have been so many things said. There have been so many things done. I don't know. Political party being launched, then there was a problem. Live bullets were used on politicians, and then suddenly they feel the gravity of that situation. People saying one thing or the other and what exactly it means. So we're going to be looking at that with you at 8 o'clock. We'll have that conversation. And then finally at 9 o'clock, society has its pressures. There are very, very many things going on at the moment. We will keep an eye on education. I don't think that we can take our eyes off of what's happening. We'll have a couple of education conversations this week, and I think that we should continue having those conversations on a weekly basis to basically talk about where we are. I heard the gut-wrenching story of a man who is a peddler of dolls. Toys. Yeah. Now, you can imagine to eat on a daily basis, how many dolls must he sell?
10, 20? maybe to eat he and his family, right? And then you ask yourself, who's buying dolls every day, okay, for you to now make that number work? But this man has a son who is in university and he's paying his way through the selling of these dolls and toys. And the horror story of how he has to make do. He was to pay for an exam, one of the exams. So you know that, of course, they're charged. They're charged. You don't just rock up to the exam. And he had to pay, and the deadline is the day of the exam. And in order for you to then sit the exam, they have to send you a code.
Yeah.
Right? You know this. This is how it is. It's normal. And he paid. So his son was to sit the exam, and he was not paying 2 shillings. Son was to sit the exam, but he had not gotten the code. So they denied him. Are you serious? He didn't sit the exam, and the money, he showed them. He said, look, we've paid. Here's the payment. They said, well, we haven't seen the verification code, so we can't let you in the exam. Not only did he not sit the exam, but had to repeat. What? No. He didn't get his money back. No. I'm telling you the truth. So, those are the horror stories. So when we sit here and we talk ministries doing this policy, I don't know, changing what funding model, etc., etc., the real life stories that are happening over here. So you can imagine, I'm linking it to the dolls. How many? Because this is real life now. Yeah. How many dolls will you sell and then eat? How many dolls will you sell and then save to be able to send your son to the university, and then things like this happen? He's just one example of what we talk about when we talk about something being in a shambles and something needs to be done. They don't want us to talk about it because number one, you seem aggressive, you're always complaining. But the thing is that the situation is not good.
Yeah.
That forms part of a conversation that we'll be having at 9 o'clock. It's a true situation.
To that young man, that's painful.
Very painful.
It is painful, especially the part where you have to repeat the whole semester.
Yes.
For no fault of your own.
Yeah.
No fault of your own, because then again, once you've paid, it is upon the recipient of the money to send you the code.
But even if I don't receive the code, you can see that I've paid.
But you see, the thing is, we need to define what legal tender is in this country. Yeah,
true.
In terms of digital monies as well. You see, you cannot deny my receipt in terms of your own receipt.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
That just cannot be the standard by which we define tender. Because if Safaricom has sent me a message, or Airtel or whoever has sent me a message confirming that I have sent money to the right account and you can confirm it is yours, then you must be forced to accept that I've actually transferred legal tender to you. You cannot just wake up and say, I don't feel like today because I didn't see. That's nonsense.
It is absolutely
because
nonsense.
the converse would be like all days is you're given a physical receipt.
Absolutely.
I mean, here we just have a digital receipt,
But
which
that's what I'm
has
saying.
exactly
The transfer of legal tender must be recognized.
Absolutely.
You understand? It's like going to a shop and then the shopkeeper keeps your money and says, you didn't pay my money.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But this is a lot worse, Mark, because in this case there's a digital footprint that a payment was actually made. And you're right, if you're going to accept this as a form of payment, then you must also accept that me being able to show you
my receipt
is the receipt. Absolutely. So that forms a conversation that we will have at 9 o'clock. The stories that folks are going through is not a joke, and we need to discuss those. 22 minutes past 6 o'clock. We'll say hello to all of you in a minute. But Mark, you've got some proverbs from Ghana.
From Ghana, the land of Akwaaba.
Akwaaba.
Do you know what they call me there?
What do they call you?
Akwesi.
Smoking.
Smoking, I wish.
You speak Chi?
Twi.
It's a weird thing they say. It's not Chi exactly. It's not Twi exactly. It's Twi. Yeah. So they call me Akwesi because I was born on a Sunday.
Okay. I was born on a Monday.
I didn't know.
Yeah, they name people according to days of the week.
Even as in Nigeria. Ladi and then Ladi, people who are born on Monday. Laraba, somebody was born on Wednesday. Sati, somebody who was born on Saturday, like that.
I thought you just have long, hard, complicated names that we shorten to Ndu.
Nigeria has almost 500 languages.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I never have I found a Nigerian with a simple name.
What depends on simple?
I fear
simple can be defined by language. And it seems difficult because it is different.
Yes, no, I'm saying you. Exactly. This every time we do an M-Pesa transaction, I feel like I'm speaking in tongues. Except that
you say you use rubber.
Anyway, so the land of a big head is a big load.
Oh, is that the proverb?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She thought I was saying she has a big head.
I was ready to come for you.
A big head
is a big load.
Where did you get that proverb from? So you should have just gone to the ones that were in the group that
we have chosen the right one.
Have you?
You've gone to Cabo Verde.
You've gone to Cabo Verde. Go to Ghana.
Go to Ghana. I thought I was going to pass with that one.
Sorry, go to Ghana.
I really wanted to say that one. But guys, a big head is a big load.
No, we are in Ghana.
Okay, so let's go to Akosombo Dam. You must act as if it is impossible to fail. Because a big head is a big load.
You must act as if it is impossible to fail.
Yes. Sometimes we do strategy sessions with my staff in the office. And I always tell them, many times you do strategy in case you fail. You make things fail proof. But have you ever thought of what if you succeed? What if it works?
My dad used to say, perhaps you're afraid that it would actually work. And that's what your real fear is. So you must operate and you just, I guess, come into contact or be in connection with the elements and say, you know what? I'm going for this thing. I'm not you're thinking, what if it doesn't work? I'm not thinking that. I am going and it's going to work. That's what I'm doing.
I think one of the last conversations I had with my grandpa was in everything in life you want to do, just chaka chaka. Just start.
Just start.
Chaka chaka.
Small.
Yeah.
And you get there.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so as usually happens on a Monday morning, things here are everywhere, but we are still getting you, and our live streams are actually up, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X, and we'll soon to be joined by our audience on KTN. But I can see that you guys are in the room, so watch it to us, Alimia. Sindio. Okay, everybody is here and chalking it up proper. Good morning from Munich is where Jimmy Wekesa is this morning. Don Sabwa says Ugandan MPs met and unanimously passed a law to allow the military to try, jail and hang civilians. Okay. Ndu and all the rest. In which year are Uganda and Tanzania? I don't know.
The year of our Lord 2025.
Professor Kagwanja believes that where Tanzania is today is where Kenya was 20 years ago in terms of political maturity. These are some of the things that he said. We are greeting people.
Okay, greet people. Let's go.
And Gore is greeting us from the beautiful city of Nairobi. Jimmy Gakio says, good morning, Team Spice. Happy Monday and a blessed week ahead. Asante Sana. Raimtula Omar this morning is tuned in and says, a very good morning. And politics in full swing. I can imagine 2026 and it will be even hotter. I know. It's a bit cray. Ogutu Ogambo says, good morning. Calvin's tuned in from Feather in Nairobi. Good morning to you. Hisa Daniel is tuned in from the Pearl of Africa. Robert Mbogo says, good morning from Mombasa. And good morning, fellow Kenyans. Where you fellow Kenyans, you've been greeted.
Good morning.
By Michael Olande, who is in Kigali. Young Jedi says, good morning, Ndu. Wishing you a great week ahead. Thank you so much. Hello, it's Lydiah is here this morning. And there's somebody, her name is Eve. You know me, I'll out all of you.
Lydia and Eve.
Lydia and Eve are somewhere there. You pretend like you can't hear me. You can hear me. I'll embarrass you here for everyone.
Does she rap?
Does Eve rap? Ha ha ha. I don't know.
I don't think there's a woman called Eve who can't rap.
Who can't rap? All the Eves you know can rap.
All of them.
Okay.
Even the one in the Garden of Eden got a bad rap.
Yeah. That one could rap proper.
Okay. Say, Alex Gatoto says, good morning, Team Spice. Tuning from South B. Wishing you all a lovely week ahead. Good morning, great one, says King Dave. And last week and was full of political sarcasm, says Nick Bala. Is there a way the media can give the politicians a blackout? I know, right? Well, let's see. Would you really? Okay, I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
The news.
Moneta and Jerry says, good morning, Team Spice. Eric O'War says, good morning, everybody. King Dave says, siasa ya Kenya imeanza kuwa samadi. What is samadi?
Samadi is...
like mud. Like samadi is...
Samadi is down.
Cow dung.
Yeah.
Yes, cow dung.
Oh, okay. Cow doo-doo.
Cow doo-doo.
Simon Peter says, good morning. God bless Kenya and its people. Amen. Good morning from Doha, Princess Ndu. Good morning to you. Have a good week, says Benedito. Tibbs Muge says, good morning, Spice FM. Thank you all for the hard work. Thank you, bro. Really great. Joe Botieno says, good morning, Spicers. Bwangi Juma is tuned in from where? But anyway, he says, good morning, Spice FM. Hope you woke up fine. Kanu still governing Kenya. Kanu, really? Hesbon Sidon says, good morning from Mogadishu. God bless Team Spice. Thank you so much. Liam says, good morning. Tuning from Stockholm. Kenya is sinking on the Citizens' Watch. Where? African Queen says, good morning, Team Spice. She says, I wish they would. People want us to give the politicians a blackout. And they would probably work instead of politicking. You think so? Hey, my prince. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We did. A school in Nyanza, broad-based area, got 87 shillings for operation. Yini Majabu. Say what? A school in Nyanza, broad-based, got 87 bob. For what?
87,000, 87 million.
87
Kenya
billion.
shillings 87.
Okay.
For what?
As in 80, the one that comes after 70.
Is that the M-Pesa balance or?
No, hata si balance, only transfer fee.
Sindio. It's very strange. My prince, you want to elucidate a little bit? Please do that. Salak says, hola, Team Spice. Hola. Agola says, bonjour à tous, bonjour à toi. Jose Mahinda says, hello, good morning, welcome to the new week. Thank you so much. Dickness, we see you. Robinson is tuning from Hong Kong and says, why does the government keep telling us how social media is regulated like in Singapore and China, but fails to acknowledge how corruption is punished in the same countries? I agree. Or how those countries have been progressively developing at the same time. Don't compare apples and oranges, please. Kalalu says, good morning, Team Spice. What a day. I know, what a day. Man P, Holler Spice is tuning from Austin. Miss Troy says, where is the Sage CT? He's here. In fact, I spoke to him this morning. Well, he's not here, but he's around. And we'll see him in the morrow. Good morning, Team Spice, and happy Monday. Hope you had a restful weekend. Today I had the privilege to stay up. JB Mutua is listening and having enlightening conversations with us. We can't do these conversations without you, that's for sure. Sang Abraham says, good morning, watching live from Australia. Have a blessed week ahead. Chris Mora, good morning, Watua Spice. Well, good morning to you. We're so many people on here. Let's see if I can get through it real quick. Atieno, good morning, sister. Tuned in from one of my favorite counties, the windy Kilifi. Have a blessed week all. GGJJ, happy Monday. Always a pleasure to be here. Well, thank you for doing it. Here every morning with us. Deno is back. Yes, he is. Umetulete nini is the first question, as we always ask as Kenyans.
Salamu kutoka Migori County.
Atukuli salamu bwana.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Nawapenda sana, says Carol. We see you, Mutuflani. Good morning. Ndu held fort like a G. Can you imagine? And kept the hot seat blazing. We were in good hands. Mutuflani, bless to you. Hugs sana. Ivan Omondi says, good morning. Monday Blues, kick them out with the Spice team. Indeed. Peter Gitao says, good morning. My prayers today are blessings for everyone's endeavors. Happy birthday to you. Well, Peter Gitao, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter.
Gitao.
Happy birthday to you. Have a good one, man, and may God bless you and keep you. My take, yes, we see a very sad story indeed. But then remember, a certain contender was promising free education from primary to university, and we chose otherwise. So I don't know what to say. My take, we're going to hold you to that, and we're going to have that conversation at 9 o'clock. It is a sad story, and it mirrors many of the sad stories that we hear. But we need to have the conversation. Whether you voted for this or didn't vote, the reality is that we are living in this present scenario, and that something must be done about it. We cannot run away from that. Okay, quick. Lillian Mongare, good morning. Frida Voigt is tuning from Germany, and Ominde Caxton is here. Dunke is also here. Robinson, we see you. Lily Baby, Ify, good morning. Yeah, you said, I hear you. Samas, okay. Vincent said, yes, 87 shillings to a school in Nyanza must have been a big error. It must have been an error. Somebody forgot a 0 or 3. I don't know. But yeah, Willie Kitala says hi. Kwani city hafiki kwa NSSF, wacha kuje tutamulize. Government distributed 22B to school, but one school got 87. Exactly. That's the conversation we shall have at 9 o'clock in terms of what on earth is happening. Alhero says that's a beautiful voice. Why, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you. Paul Njehia says good morning. Imagine, Deno akukuja na shubaro. I don't know what's wrong with him. The proverb today. Kwani, you are talking to me. We're telling you. Act as though you cannot fail.
Yep.
Act as though you cannot fail. Wait. See, time is flying. Time is flying, but we're here all the same. Look, let's look at the headlines of the papers. We'll take a quick break and look at those stories in meat. Sindio?
Kabisa.
Yes, sir.
Kabisa.
Oh, nusikia yes, sir. So where do you sat on that seat, Paka? They've descended.
The places you've passed
don't
to
even
today.
Start me on this misogyny thing.
I don't know misogynistic. I'm just dissing you.
Until you've sat there for so long until now you've become a man.
No, until they've dropped. What has dropped? Mic drop.
Mic can drop. But see, we look at the headlines on the bold newspaper for now. A plot to stalk Kenyans. Where Big Brother is watching you guys. For the umpteenth time, the Ruto administration is once again pushing to amend information laws through a private member's bill that would grant sweeping powers to monitor, trace, and target Kenyans online. Where? When you thought it was safe to get out of the water. If passed, the legislation will give the state unprecedented access to, it's like I'm the one who went to Migori, to digital platforms, raising fears of a crackdown on dissent and increased surveillance on government critics, especially in the wake of last year's Gen Z protests. Experts warn the timing points to a calculated attempt to mute online activism ahead of the 2027 general election. Omo, This stuff that movies. I have to ask you guys a movie question. Just give me a minute. Let me. No papers, no plan. Why exam season is in jeopardy? This forms a part of our conversation for 9 o'clock today. Millions of learners face the country's biggest exam season yet. With KCSE, grade 9 tests. This is the first grade 9 test. It's that one of those, what's the word we are looking for?
Assessment.
Thank you very much. This is a year for assessment.
Yes.
It's a big year for grade 9s. And then the grade 7 tests are also looming. But with days ticking by, KNEC, as I like to call them, has not begun printing. And they're saying, because why? Onge pesa. Joking.
The converse. We never lack papers for voting day. It's okay.
Let me tell you, maybe they are going to give children computers and they work on online.
Actually, let me give you the headlines, because if we start now, we can do this show entire on that one headline. But we cannot. Relief as 24 diagnostic machines will be installed at county hospital. It is very good. And I'll tell you why when we read that story. Mbadi seeks public views for the first post-riots budget. Okay. People, please go and participate publicly and tell them what you think. Now, let me tell you a very bizarre one. A headline, though. Just the headline. We get into the story. Girl, 14, vanishes in police custody. How do you vanish? Just, you're in police custody, then poof, you're gone.
Wait, 14-year-old.
Yes.
What are they doing in police custody?
In the first place. It is possible that she got... You know, they say if you see a missing child who just seems to be wandering about, the first person you take her to is a police station.
She could also have committed a crime.
It is very possible.
Serious enough.
So the safest place you can be is the place you vanish.
Crisis looms as Treasury delays release of 6 billion shillings exam allocation. You and your story is exams. Why Gachagwa's break from power is good for Kenya and deserves a hearing. Oh my God. Okay, so those are some of the headlines. And we'll look into some of those stories in details. Sawa sawa. For now, let's take a break. A quick look into what's happening with traffic, and then we'll come back and continue. Good. Coming round to what? Yes, coming round to about 23 minutes to 7 o'clock. Time is a-flying. But you guys are so great joining us in the room this morning. Let's keep it moving, and we'll come back and look at those stories in details. This is the Situation Room at 23 to 7.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
In a world where change is constant, there is something comforting about stability. One that has inspired I&M Bank's growth in Kenya, Mauritius, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda. We celebrate the lives impacted, dreams realized, and futures secured through our financing solutions. This milestone is a testament to the power of relationships, integrity, and commitment. I&M Bank, on your side.
I&M, the future.
The weather with SpiceFM.
At 17, Eldoret at 18 degrees and partly cloudy, into a cloudy Mombasa at 26, and it's partly cloudy at 26 into Malindi, while into Kisumu at 20 and Kakamega at 21. I beg your pardon, Kisumu at 26 and Kakamega at 19. We're looking into a cloudy Kampala currently at 20, and Dar es Salaam at 24 is partly cloudy. Mogadishu at 26 will be sunny through Monday, and it is at 9 degrees in Johannesburg, while looking into a partly cloudy Addis Ababa currently at 15. Lagos is clear at 24, and it's 24 and partly cloudy in Kinshasa.
Traffic updates brought to you by I&M Bank, on your side.
Traffic.
Okay, so taking a look at what it's looking like now. Just a little bit of traffic starting to form on the Thika Superhighway, coming in strong onto the Pangani underpass. And in from Survey, it is bumper to bumper already at some parts. It looks like it's going to be a busy Monday morning. As you're coming off of Mombasa Road, we're doing all right as well. Through towards the Nyayo Stadium roundabout, I think we're fine here as also, traffic is starting to build on Gong Road and on Kiambu Road as well, as look on the other side of things. But still early pickings. Let's see what happens with traffic as we get into the morning, and we'll talk and keep things moving. SpiceFM, KE on X, hashtag.
Traffic updates brought to you by I&M Bank, empowering you to achieve your dreams and secure your future with our financial solutions across Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, and Mauritius. I&M Bank, on your side.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
What's wrong with you, Dennis? Huh? Okay, just talk. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I don't know what you're trying to tell me. You can just tell me, they'll understand.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay, now you're here.
Yes.
Sawa. Okay.
Talk with chest.
Talk with chest. All right. So we're looking into some of the stories this morning, and go. Mark, Dennis?
Well, let's just start at the beginning, I think. Plot to stalk Kenyans. You know, this for me is a very interesting piece, because see, Kenyans have still been found online without this law. So many Kenyans have already been arrested.
Yes, without the law being in place.
Yes.
Right.
So the question is how much deeper must it go?
See, then I guess essentially what it does, because what have the calls been? That people who have been online and doing whatever it is that they've been doing, that the calls have been, if they've done something wrong, present them to a court of law, charge them, and then let's have that conversation. But now what this does is that it precludes you from having to do that. Because if you have a law in place, you say, as a result of the breaking of this law and that it is now documented, I can now pick you up.
But you see, the thing is, this thing is about surveillance, right? The criminality of the actions of people online are already, an issue that can be well established in a court of law. So, for example, if I do a crime, let's say a treasonous crime, like declaring myself President of the Republic of Kenya using the legal oath and things like that, do not be hard for the police to pick me up.
No.
The issue that has been there is an issue of how much of our personal information can be accessed by different government institutions. Let's not forget that KRA wants to access your M-Pesa and your bank account. We've got this one that wants to know where you are exactly doing what on social media. And then you got a vast array of other things that want to get into your personal information. Now, for us Kenyans, we don't take personal information seriously because we don't attach a lot of our money onto our identity. Right? We're not a credit card happy society. But what this tells me, and many states across the world are having this same challenge, where they are able to legally access as much of your information as possible to do with as much as possible.
Because if you just go through the story now, a proposed new law disguised as a consumer protection initiative is raising alarm among digital rights experts and human rights defenders who warn it could usher in one of the most invasive state surveillance regimes in the country's history. The Kenya Information and Communications Amendment Bill 2025, brought before Parliament by Lydiah MP Marian Keitany, seeks to safeguard economic interest of internet users. In a justification, Keitany says the bill seeks to develop and deploy quality metered billing system capable of monitoring customer usage, convert data into readable details, and create invoices based on users' consumption. But an analysis by digital rights experts point out a chilling plan for mass data collection, real-time monitoring of citizens, and erosion of human rights by the state under the guise of regulating internet billing by internet service providers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about access to information.
Yeah,
it is.
And how much of it is going to be private after all this is done, and you see, the balance is this, and it's also happening in the United States, and it's very critical for us to note. The issue is that in every activity you do online, there is a certain part of you that is shared, for example, with your mobile money provider, right? Should your mobile money provider make that information available to KRA, is the question. And can KRA give your information to your bank? And can your bank give that information to the central bank, right? So the issue is, can we silo our information or make it into a total network which everyone accesses everything?
Sure.
The problem with that is that you are digitally undressed.
And you would want to ask then what's the role of the data protection agency? Where then do they fall in if they were instituted to ensure that people are kept safe, but then also people can be kept private?
Yes.
That it is your information at the end of the day, and that privacy is your right.
You're right.
Yeah, and unless you've committed a criminal act,
that's different.
Your data in Safaricom should not automatically be portable to the police.
And you see, at the end of the day, even as we speak right now, our data is available out there. What this bill, according to me, says is that bill, if it becomes an act of parliament, will then give the authorities an opportunity to, or pretty much defines what they can do with that data. Because right now it is closed. That's exactly what they want to do with this bill. Which begs the question, at what point did the government sit and decide, let's do this because of ABCD? Because one would argue, based off what we saw June 25th, the government sees the need to rein in on controlling data to be able to deal with
it's control.
people.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's control.
Imagine I disagree. Because every government has the desire to know everything about you all the time. There's no government that is not like that. It is the nature of every government to want to know as much as possible.
And it is control.
And therefore, no, it's not just control. It goes much deeper. If we think about
I'll give you 1 minute.
Control, we get in trouble. The reason why government wants to know all your data is so that it can predict everything you'll possibly do. That is the key, because then it can predict taxes, it can predict incomes, it can predict outcomes of school, it can predict even if it wants who you will marry. That is the power of big data, and we keep joking. No, but I'm serious. That's how Tinder is able to know matches near you. Yes.
A girl 14 years old vanishes in police custody, and you wonder how? Well, let me tell you. A family in Naivasha is engulfed in anguish and confusion following the mysterious disappearance of her 14-year-old daughter, Lynette Menotti, who shockingly vanished while in police custody. The teenager went missing in September last year under puzzling circumstances right outside the Naivasha police station. To date, the authorities have provided no clear explanation, leaving the family desperate and in the dark. Lynette had been under the care of the donor-funded child protection support program, known as Teen Mothers Forum Africa, residing in a rented apartment in Kayole in Naivasha. The facility, run by a non-governmental organization, housed vulnerable girls, many of them young mothers or victims of domestic instability. Now, her troubles began when she, along with several other girls, was taken to the Naivasha police station for questioning regarding a theft reported at the apartment. According to the family, all the girls were released except Lynette. It makes no sense how our child could disappear inside a police station, Jane Kwamboka, her grandmother. I believe she's just a pawn in a bigger scheme that no one wants to talk about. Now, while in custody, a medical exam